Hi Hungry Monk students and fans. This is a little tutorial on how to use an app called iRealPro. iRealPro is a great little music app that can be used for several different things. It's initially designed as a collection of charts with the ability to play along the accompaniment for a bunch of jazz tunes, but you can make your own charts and do almost anything you want with it. I'm going to click on the icon of iRealPro on my iPad. Here it is. If I select a song like a fiddle tune, like Liberty, there's the chord chart for Liberty. And once you have these chord charts in place, you can get your iPad or your iPhone to play the accompaniment. So I'm going to hit play right here. Kind of a cheesy pseudo bluegrass. You can see down here the style is pop bluegrass accompaniment, but it works. You can tell it how fast or slow you want it to go. You can adjust the metronome so you can do things fast or slow. You can tell it how many times you want it to repeat the tune. You can change the different style. This came from the pop music, bluegrass, country, disco. You know, it's more or less bluegrass, so that's what I've got. So now what I want to do is show you real quick how to make a chart. So you can make your own charts. iRealPro is loaded up with a ton of jazz charts. You'll see, chord charts, and of course, if you hit, play, it will play the accompaniment for you. If you know this tune. But you can also make your own charts. And I've been making a lot of fiddle tune charts, so I'm going to show you one of those. Up here, there's a little, under songs, there's songs down here. Songs. The little plus sign, you can do a new song. There's several templates. Everything from just a blank piece of paper to these 32 measure ones are kind of templates for jazz tunes. I usually go to the 48 measure one, even though I won't need that many measures. And what I get is this piece of paper with bar lines already in it. It already says 4/4. Down here you'll see these are chords. There are numbers, chords, and various things. If I hit this symbols, I'll get to a different set of options with time signatures and some bar lines. Now I know this tune that I'm going to do is in 4/4. We're going to do a tune called Ebenezer, a fiddle tune. It's in 4/4. All fiddle tunes are A, B, B sections, right? An 8-measure A section that gets repeated, an 8-measure B section that gets repeated. So I know at the beginning, I'm going to want the double bar with the repeat sign. It's in the key of G, and the first chord is a G, so I put a G chord. Now that's beat 1. Here's next. There's beat 2, 3, 4. There's the next measure. Next measure is also G, and I can put another G there. Or I'm going to hit return. What I really want to do is go to beat 2 and use this symbol, which just means repeat that measure. And the next measure is also G. The next measure is D, or D7. I kind of like the 7. And we move on to the next measure, which is also D, so I'm going to use that. Next measure, also D. Next measure, also D. The 8th measure, is back to G. And at the end of that bar, I want the double bar with the repeat sign. There's my A section. Now I'm going to move on to the B section. I want the double bar, the repeat sign. Once again, the chord is G. Once again, there's another measure of G, another measure of G, and another measure of G. On to the next line where I get the D7, another measure of D7, another measure of D7, and finally it ends on G, and I want that repeat sign again at the end, the double bar. Oops, like that. So there's the tune. That is basically the chord chart for Ebenezer. To clean this up a little bit, I can select like the next bar that I don't need. I'm going to pull this all the way down. I'm going to delete, and now that looks fairly neat. There's a couple other things you can do to change things around. Since this is the beginning of the A section, you can click on that G. Right here, there's an A. I'm going to do that. That labels it as the A section. This is the B section, so I'm going to put a B there. The other thing you can do, just to give yourself some room, is use this arrow, which pushes that down and pushes that down, giving the whole thing a little more room. Up at the top, we don't have the proper title or anything yet, so over here, there's some things, and we go to the I guess for information, song title, Ebenezer. The composer, unknown, it's traditional, just leave it unknown. The key, you don't have to worry about this particularly, but it is helpful to have the correct key. We're in the key of G, so I'm going to do that and set, and I'm done. And now I have a chart, and I click done, and now I can save it, and I will save it, and now there is my chart. Now, the default accompaniment on this that's not the way fiddle tunes go. So I go over here to jazz medium swing. There's a lot of different jazz options, but you can also get some pop options. The first one is bluegrass, like before, kind of bogus, but it works. That bumped the speed up to 220, which is nice. It's only going to play it one time through. I probably want to play it through at least 4 times. And so we do that, play. So once you have that, take out your instrument of choice, push play, it counts it off. And on and on. If that's too fast for you, slow it way down. You're learning the tune. Like that. So, that's a handy little thing. You can make all kinds of charts, all kinds of fiddle tunes. All you need to know is the chords. If you don't know the chords, it's a good opportunity to learn the chords so you can make your own chart. You can have this play as long as you want. It's a nice accompaniment for learning tunes and practicing tunes. It's kind of endless possibilities. I have got everything in here from fiddle tunes like this to classical music, Renaissance music, medieval music, a chord chart for Vivaldi's Lute Concerto in D major. These are the chords I figured out. I can actually play along with this chart. So it's quite handy. I want to show you one other little quick one. I'm going to make another chart. This time I'm going to make a chart of a David Grisman tune called EMD. So EMD is a fairly straightforward tune. Actually, I'm going to give me that repeat sign right there because I'm going to want that part to repeat. It starts in E minor. This is where you got to make sure you know what the chords are. Yeah, so it's 2 measures of E minor, and then it goes to C, 2 measures of C. And that repeats. Now, interestingly enough, that repeats 3 times. So this is some deep work on the app. Usually a repeat sign will only repeat twice. If you want to go more than twice, you can go to you hit the letter, which gives you an option over here. There's a lot of stuff going on over here, including 3 times. So now you see it says 3 times over there. That's going to make that go 3 times. I'm done with that. Done. Back to this. Next bar. I just want a double bar there. And this chord is A. 2 bars of that. C. I like a C7, but whatever. C7. B7. And then it goes back to the top. So that's really the end of the tune. That's it. I'm going to select this bar. I'm going to get rid of all that stuff. I'm going to put the information in here. This is called EMD. It's by David Grisman. It's in the key of E minor. I'm done. All right, so I've already made this chart before, so it's already in my thing, so it's not going to let me save it. But, you get the idea. You can do all kinds of stuff with this app. It's a great app for practicing. It doesn't cost very much money. You can put it on your iPad or on your phone, and then you can put up charts and play along with them and learn tunes really easily. I encourage you to get it. And my students, I have tons of charts. I can always actually email them to you, and then you've got the same charts that you can pull up in your iRealPro. I, of course, spent a lot of time making fiddle tunes and Grateful Dead tunes, but there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. So until next time, get to work. See ya.